What's up everyone, John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here, back with round 2 of the smartphone Goliath, Apple's iPhone 3GS, and HTC's Droid Incredible. One running on AT&T's network, one running on Verizon's. In round 1 we compared a ton of really important features including web browsing, web speed, keyboard, text entry, and general UI tweaks, and that round definitely went to the HTC Incredible. I'll put a link to it at the end in case you want to check that out. And we're back with the promised round 2. In this round we're going to cover media, in particular how the cameras work on each, pictures and video, how they both handle video playback and audio playback. So let's go ahead and get started, and of course we're going to start with some geeky specs because it helps sort of understand what we're going to discuss a little bit. So starting right now with the Droid Incredible, it has a screen resolution of 480 by 800 on a 3.7 inch screen. The iPhone 3GS has a little bit smaller 3.5 inch screen and a lower resolution 320 by 480. That comes into play when watching video. Certainly if you're going to watch media on your device, you gotta watch it on the screen. So moving on to camera, this is really where we start to see a big spec difference. Especially considering the Incredible is a brand new device and the iPhone 3GS, now we're looking at just about year-old hardware. So the Incredible, if you flip that sucker over, is highlighted by an 8 megapixel sensor with dual LED flash with touch to zoom autofocus. And on the iPhone 3GS, we've got a 3 megapixel sensor with no LED, and it does have autofocus. Now, generally in the camera world, higher megapixel does not always equal better pictures. You want a higher megapixelage if you're looking to blow up images because you get a higher pixel density. However, higher pixel ratios here do actually translate to better picture quality when it comes to these two phones. I'll put up some images right now and you can sort of see the difference. The Incredible definitely has an edge when it comes to photography in low light. The dual LED flash really makes things pop. Certainly you're not going to want to blow them up to poster size, and it's not going to replace your DSLR, but it does take pretty significant pictures, and the picture quality does look very nice. So both of these also feature video cameras. So let's talk a bit about specs on video. Well, the iPhone 3GS shoots video at VGA resolution, which is 640 by 480, which is, not bad. The Droid Incredible, however, shoots video at WVGA resolution, and that extra letter before does actually mean something. The W means that it shoots at 800 by 480. So you're looking at a bit higher resolution, and that does actually translate as well to video quality. I'll put up some video now comparing the two that was shot at exactly the same time, exactly the same location, so you can see the difference in the video fidelity. So YouTube doesn't always do justice to the quality of video, but suffice to say the increased resolution of the Droid Incredible does look better in real-world environments than the iPhone 3GS. When I play video shot on the Droid Incredible back on my 24-inch monitor, it still looks relatively bright and crisp. When I blow up video from the iPhone 3GS, it tends to look a bit on the pixelated side. Not to say the 3GS takes bad video, just the Droid Incredible happens to take better video. So let's take a look at another way to view video. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, chances are maybe you're watching it on your phone. I do a lot of video viewing on my mobile device, so I need a phone that can accommodate. So if I go ahead and launch Safari, here I am at my YouTube page, John4Lakers, and if I want to watch video embedded on here, I have to launch the dedicated YouTube player, which can be a bit annoying. It works well, but it takes you away from the web experience. So if I want to look at a video, I gotta click it, then I gotta find the mobile link, it'll launch the player, and it'll play it inside of that application. Very little way to play video right in the browser. We have seen in-browser playback on the iPad, but that has not yet been implemented here on the iPhone. However, on the Droid Incredible, if I go ahead and launch that, here I am on the same YouTube page. And you'll notice some probably key differences here. On the Droid Incredible, we've got Flash content in the place that ad in the upper right hand corner that is dynamic and moving, not even present here on the iPhone 3GS. Now Flash is definitely a polarizing feature. Some say they must have it, have to have it, won't do anything without it. Some say they don't care. Flash has been a bit of a jank implementation thus far. Sometimes Flash video will play back right in the browser. Sometimes it will not. So let me go ahead and try and refresh this page and see if we can get a playback. And I don't know if this problem lies with the Droid Incredible or its Flash implementation, or perhaps the YouTube issue. But sometimes video will play right in here and sometimes it will not. So it looks like it's loading. And then we get a error occurred, please try back later. So go ahead and try and hit that play button, see if we can get something to play. And we're still getting that same error occurred. Now I will say that maybe 3 out of every 5 times that I refresh the page it'll play, but those 2 times, like we saw right here, it just doesn't. So Flash, while important to some and certainly important on a desktop experience, I have yet to see a good implementation of it and a fluid implementation of it on a mobile device. However, if that's a feature that's important to you, the Droid Incredible out of these 2 devices is the only one that offers it. Something to keep in mind. So let's take a look at the audio playback of both of these, since they both offer a pretty decent audio playback. Apple certainly made the big name for themselves with the iPod, and they've sort of implemented some of those key features here over to the iPhone. So here is the iPod functionality. You've got your typical iPod array. You've got playlists, artists, songs, videos. Scroll through some of them, and if you turn it off to the side, you get a kind of a cool cover flow view. Go ahead and push that back. And if you pick a song, you can go ahead and pause it right there. You can pick either a Genius playlist, which essentially will take songs that are similar to what you're listening to and make its own playlist. You can shuffle songs at random or just do a simple shuffle or a loop. Playback buttons, pretty simple menu system. It does work well, and you've got your artwork right on the front. The album artwork is available. Now, if you want to buy music from an Apple device, this is going to sound very familiar. You're limited to Apple's walled garden. You have to go through iTunes in order to get music onto the device. Certainly, you can buy any non-DRM songs that you'd like from Amazon or any other source, load it into iTunes, sync it up, and it'll certainly play. But you're limited to get the information onto the device from iTunes. There's a mobile store built right in. You can go ahead and download all the songs and videos that you'd like. It does work very well, but they run about 99 cents-ish per song, so definitely can add up. Let's take a look at audio playback here on the Droid Incredible. So go ahead and tap music. And we've got sort of a cover flow look and feel too. You've got some 3D animations right there. And I love seeing the 3D stuff on the Droid Incredible. It lets me know they're putting that Snapdragon processor to good use. Let's pick a song here. Here's Youth Explosion. You go ahead and hit play. You get the simple options that you would get on most audio playback devices. You get shuffle, you get loop, you go play, next song. But since this is running HTC Sense, you do get some other options. Let me go and show you what those are. So here you can view all your artists, albums, playlists, songs, genres, composers, or purchased. You can buy music directly on the device from Amazon's MP3 store, or since Android is very open, anywhere that you want to get music from that's not DRM'd, you can go ahead and play it right on Android. You plug your device in, you essentially just drag the music files right over. It is pretty easy. Video playback on both devices. Something that I think YouTube is not going to do justice for. Video playback on each is relatively smooth. Android, when it was first launched, was not known for its multimedia prowess. However, that has certainly been addressed, I think, in recent software updates, firmware updates, and hardware updates, sort of coming to what I'd say would be the ultimate Android device, which would be the Droid Incredible. So video playback looks very smooth on both. Showing you here really wouldn't do it any justice. So let's jump backwards in time and talk about the cameras. We showed some pictures. Let me show you the camera interfaces, because that's something that is a big differentiating factor. So here's the very simple camera interface on the iPhone 3GS. So I want to take a picture. Here's a Expo marker, for example. I can go ahead and get it in focus. I can tap it at autofocus, and I can go ahead and snap my picture. That is really the extent of it. Now, if, for example, I launch the camera on the Droid Incredible, you have a few more options, and this is really HTC's Sense tweaks that do quite a bit. So we'll go ahead and put that same Expo marker there. And if I wanted to, I could just snap a picture. I can tap to zoom as well, or tap to focus rather, and I can hit the optical joystick button, tap it, and it will snap the picture. However, I've got a ton, oops, just locked the device. However, I have a ton of other customization options to show you as well, assuming I don't tap the lock button in the process. Go ahead and hit that arrow right there. You've got really some pretty advanced options for a mobile device. I'll show you what all those are here. So you can choose whether you want to jump into photo or video. You've got your brightness options. You can tweak it any way you like, up or down. You've got a contrast, saturation, and sharpness, which some of you photophiles out there may like. You've got a ton of effects too, which are kind of neat. You've got quite a few of them. Grayscale, sepia, negative, solarize, posterize, and aqua. So there's aqua, it turns things blue. You sort of take a look and see how it does with things. It's sort of neat. Let's go back to negative. I kind of like that one. So there's the marker. You can see it's all reversed. But just want to show you that you do get sort of some advanced functionality. And of course, you have flash options up here as well. I take advantage of that dual LED flash. So I can turn it on, turn it off, turn it auto. Let's turn it on. We still have the negative effect here. And we'll take a picture. See the flash light up, and I hit the power button. I keep doing that when I take pictures. But you do see that you get access to both of these flash modules on the bottom, and you get a lot more customization options when it comes to the camera on each. So at the end of the day, both phones offer, I think, very unique experiences. Apple's got a very tightly integrated operating system. They make the hardware, they outsource their hardware, but they control the hardware and they control the operating system to really create a seamless experience. However, they're also very closed. If you want to get into Apple products and you want to use Apple products, you're very limited to what they call the walled garden. You have to stay within sort of the everywhere and all-encompassing iTunes in order to really use the device. The Android operating system, on the other hand, and particularly the Droid Incredible, is very open. You can customize it, you can tweak it, you can do a ton of really anything that you'd like, and you can get music from a variety of sources and drag and drop them right on. So it's really going to be personal preference, whether you like that tightly integrated Apple experience, whether you want sort of a more loose, open experience with Android. It's definitely going to be a personal preference. If we have to declare a winner here, and just based solely on camera performance and specs and features, again, it has to go to the Droid Incredible. Although it is worthwhile to mention that we're looking at probably just about year-old hardware here, and the new hardware here on the Droid Incredible. Certainly when the iPhone 4G launches and we can put modern against modern, we may have some different results. But when we're looking at these two, which are the current release models, I think the Droid Incredible represents just a fantastic phone, a great value, and a really good experience overall. So guys, if you missed round one, be sure to check it out. I'll put a link to it at the end so you can watch it. And I'm really curious what you guys have to think too. Is the Droid Incredible the device for you? Are you waiting for a GSM version of it? Or are you going to jump to Verizon or a Juke upgrade? I'm going to want to know what you guys think. Leave comments or video responses. Anyway, I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo, and I'll see you in the next video.